Hi, I'm David Pearson, Executive Director of Shawmut Education. As a formerly homeless American who learned database and web technology to build BostonHomeless.org, a resource of over 150 shelters and food programs that is maintained by our students, it was my pleasure in December of 2002 to visit Jamaica. I met with the Minister of Technology, Philip Paulwell, and others from the Education Ministry, the Information Ministry, as well as the Department of Corrections to train them in SkyBuilder's tools. I also trained approximately 15 Jamaicans on how to build their own web pages and websites. In January 2003 at Harvard Law School, the Berkman Center for Internet and Society discussed this question: can Jamaican music published by Jamaicans on the World Wide Web help economic development in Jamaica?
Shall we just begin?
Charlie, you're on.
My name is Charles Nesson. I'm a professor here and I've been associated with the Berkman Center. If you are going to develop as a nation, you need to develop your people. Education we think of as the best strategy to bridge the digital divide. It is a resource that can be transmitted without the necessity of investing huge amounts of money. I want to introduce to you Mr. Wayne Marshall. Wayne Marshall is the man here on my right, and he will be followed by Rebecca Nesson, and the third party listed here is the man who is pointing the camera at us, and that is actually part of the strategy that we're trying to unfold, and perhaps we can explain that when we get to it.
So I've been using the computer to make music for a while, and I recently started to teach other people how to use it in the same way that I do. And I use this program for a number of reasons. One, it's really powerful and really flexible, and I can actually use it to make fairly professional sounding music. It's also quite user-friendly, and that's the hook of it. What it allows you to do is edit in real time and listen to what you're doing, and it gives you a nice visual interface. So what this does is gives you a number of channels. Each channel contains a sound. So for example, here at the top we have a kick drum. Sounds like that. And so you can put a kick drum in the timeline here and get it going, and it'll just cycle around. You can listen to the sound as you go. And then you can add other sounds. You can add a snare drum. And these are some of the basic elements to most music. 100% or so of popular music has kick drums and snare drums. And I always tell kids that. There's some basic things to learn. If you basically put a drum on every beat like that, that gives you a basic beat. What you can then do from there is, depending on what kind of music you want to make, what genre you want to make, you can slow down the beat. So if we wanted to turn this into like a techno beat or a house beat, we could slow it down to about 120 beats per minute, add a couple more kick drums, add a couple cymbals. You've got something like that. But most of the kids I teach actually want to make rap or hip hop. So there we have to slow it down a little bit more. Somewhere between 80 and 110 beats per minute will give you hip hop, depending on how loping or charging ahead you want to be. And we need to remove some of these drums, make it a little bit more simple. Add some more cymbals maybe. And then once you've got a basic thing like that, that's like a basic hip hop beat. And I show kids how easy it is to change it quite profoundly. So if I move this kick drum here and I move it over just a bit, it suddenly changes to that. You feel the difference there, and you can watch it as you go and change it. So from there, it's all about finding a pattern you like. This is Jamaica we're talking about. So you want to know how to make dancehall reggae, which is actually quite similar to hip hop. All we have to do is put the drums in the right places. So I'm gonna keep this basic setup again. Let me remove that, change that bass a bit. Now I'm going to move these snares over just a tad, add another couple kick drums, and then you've got a reggae beat.
Jamaica has a wonderful history of creativity. Bob Marley electrified the world. The Harder They Come electrified the world. They haven't really been as big as they could have been in the last couple of decades, but they understand this as a vehicle of development, and the potential is definitely there for their future. Right now, if you go to a hotel and you turn on your TV, there are 20 stations, 19 of them are American, and one is a Jamaican copy of an American station.
Yep.
Right? The goal for me would to have Jamaica become an exporter of media, a consumer within its own environment and an exporter.
I also have the job of bringing it all together onto some websites. So the basic scheme of our project is that we're going to be setting up websites with people who are the administrators of the computer labs or the teachers in some of the schools in Kingston Parish and Portland Parish in Jamaica, using the Sky Builders web development software, which is what this site is built on. Sky Builders is an amazingly powerful, database-backed, totally open source web development setup with which I and a teacher in a school in Jamaica could easily set up a website for a school that could have all sorts of stuff going on in a matter of hours, and that teacher could be prepared to be the administrator of that site in perpetuity without a lot of trouble. And then it would cost the school zero, nothing. Sky Builders is completely free and completely open source, and Sky Builders has actually donated a server for Jamaica to use. So the education ministry in Jamaica and maybe the technology ministry have the job of getting some space at the monopoly cable provider for our server, Cable and Wireless. Oh, yes, so Cable and Wireless hopefully will house a server for us. I would be there for 6 months to be training some people to continue to help them. Actually, we've already sent a trainer down there and who has trained a couple of Jamaicans, a woman named Sharice Williams in particular, who runs a computer repair company down there. And she's turned out to be a great Sky Builders trainer, just with a very small amount of training so far, and is already quite capable of helping the teachers support the websites.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter.
Sky Builders will automatically create HTML.
Right.
That's what I like. And I like this get URL,
Right.
which means you can just take that any URL as a format.
Right. And we're gonna look at some of those up in the interface that are right up above there. That's where they are. If you look, that stuff that you're talking about is right there.
Where?
Right
Get
in
URL?
here. Yeah, all of that
I
stuff.
kind of understand
okay?
it. I understand.
Move that down just a second.
Yes.
Yep, see?
Yes,
okay.
I see that.
Okay.
I really understand.
Okay.
It's so like GeoCities, which is what I build with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, at GeoCities they give you just these similar tools to build with, but this is excellent because it's taking that to another level. It's taking it to a higher level.